Hey guys, MTU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series number 6 in the Star Wars The Phantom Menace Episode 1 line. Here we have SEBULBA. Big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for getting this out my way. It is currently in stock right now at BBTS, the link in the video description below. If you're looking to pick up SEBULBA, I went and got this figure because it's SEBULBA. Not that I care about SEBULBA, although in the Phantom Menace, you know, I was fairly young. I think I was in 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade when the Phantom Menace came out. I remember buying the tickets a week early because I think back then that was like unheard of. Like you buy movie tickets before the days a week before the movie. That's crazy. Now obviously that's normal practice, but back then it was insane, right? And then, you know, the day finally came and me and my group of friends, right after school, we all walked like a mile from the school to the movie theater so we could watch Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, and it was very cool. Regardless of what you think of the movie in time or whatever, back then when I was young, it was cool. It was awesome. It was new Star Wars. Like, how cool was that? But here we have SEBULBA. The reason really to get this figure is just because it's so interesting. It's very different. It's not, I mean, they've obviously done aliens before, but they have like regular humans in Black Series form. And that's, you know, your typical action figure, it's a guy. This thing is an alien. I don't have a little Anakin, by the way, so this will have to do as far as comparison. But it's just a very interesting looking figure, something very different, so I wanted to check it out and see what it's all about. Unfortunately, there is no pod racer to go along with it. That would be a huge pod racer if they did a 6-inch scaled version for Black Series. I could see them doing vintage collection. I don't think that's something that we will see in the Black Series, but who knows. But looking at the figure, as you can see, he's sideways in the package. You got the artwork there of SEBULBA right there, and you can see the little pod up here, which is cool. Little pod, I mean big pod, but anyway. The back of the package, the bio reads, "A crafty, vicious Doug, SEBULBA became one of the Outer Rim's most successful pod racers, aggressive, arrogant, and not above cheating to win a race." No, sir, he is not. But there it is. There is SEBULBA. Let's go ahead and open it up and let's take a look. I don't know what this accessory thing is. Is that like his food? Something he eats? I don't know. Let's open him up and let's take a look. You know, because I'm not much of a Star Wars Black Series collector, this is something new to me. As far as, like, I don't know when they started doing this, but the tray on the inside actually has a design on the inside. So you can see the pod racer there. That's kind of cool because I feel like Black Series, you know, probably didn't do a whole lot because, like, let's be honest, right here, Black Series Star Wars figures have had the least packaged treatment out of G.I. Joe, Transformers, Marvel Legends. Like, think about the plastic-free packaging and how absolutely terrible they were compared to the other ones. Like, here's Bix Kayleen from Andor Season 1. Look how terrible the package was. They just did a 3D render there in the front, nothing going on in the background. So to go from stuff like this, and then just plain color insert, we actually get a design. Is it a big deal? Absolutely not. It's just nice to see some effort into the presentation there. But not real important, but still thought I'd bring it up. All right, so here's SEBULBA out of the package. You know what? You know what? I have my criticisms of the Black Series, right? Single jointed elbows, single jointed knees, no extra heads, no extra hands, very few accessories. This one is not really no exception. I mean, we get his goggles, and then I get whatever that thing's called. It's like food for him, I guess. And that's it. So not a whole lot to the figure, but you know what? Sometimes they're just fun. Like, sometimes you could just look at a figure and say, you know what? That's wacky, silly, goofy, and just all kinds of wild, but so much silly little fun. And that's what this figure is. Like, I can't review this figure and tell you the accuracy that he has in deco compared to the movie. As far as I can remember, he looks pretty good. I'm sure there isn't as much paint detail as you would hope on the figure, but this thing is fun. I mean, look at it. Like, his upper extremities are his feet. Like that, and his lower legs are his arms, right? Those are basically, like, that's what he uses to hold on to things, grab things, do all that. Whereas his feet, his arms act as his feet, or his hands act as his feet, because that's what he stands on. That's how he walks. And it's just fun. Like, I mean, look at it. Look how silly that is. Like, that's so crazy. That's why I wanted to get this figure, just because it's so wacky. It's so different. it's, you know, it's, again, not your typical human. It's a crazy looking alien, and just, again, a lot of fun. So I really like it. But looking at the accessories, we get this little frog thing piece. I mean, it's just like hanging there just so he can like do it and like eat it, I guess. There's some sculpted detail into the texture of the skin, as you can see there. But, you know, not a whole lot going on. It's pretty soft. There's obviously no articulation because it's just an accessory piece. We get his goggles here, and the goggles look pretty good. A couple of different brown colors in there. It has a nice leathery texture to it, which is cool. And then you do get the translucent clear plastic pieces for the goggles there. And it just fits over his head. You kind of go like this over his eyes there. And then you have to like tuck his ears through the ear hole piece, because you got that piece there. So you got to kind of wrap it around the ear. There, and then it just sits in there, and then boom, you got Sebulba ready to go pod racing without a pod. Give us a pod, Hasbro, but no pod. And then you got the figure. So looking at Sebulba, God, he is ugly. He is an ugly one. But that looks pretty good. The only thing, like, not the only thing, obviously there's probably multiple things, but the biggest thing that I could think of is an open mouth head sculpt would have been cool, or an articulated jaw. I don't know that they could do an articulated jaw with this, but maybe give us a second head. I think that would have been cool. But otherwise, looking at it, looks pretty good. You get whatever this thing is just kind of hanging down, and I guess these would be like earring type of things. So there's a little bit of color on there. Paint-wise, the paint looks pretty good that we got. His eyes are pretty difficult to see. They blend in really, really with the skin tone and everything like that. Let me bring in some super close light in there. So you guys can see, and again, it's kind of difficult to see. It really blends in, but the skin tone itself looks pretty good. There's some different colors kind of going in there into like this deep purple there on the back of his neck, which is pretty cool. And then like his legs have that same purple going on with a little bit of tan color up underneath. So it looks pretty good. Again, I like it. His garb, his clothing, whatever it is that he's wearing, his armor pieces, it's similar to the goggles in terms of like the leathery texture and colors in there. So that is pretty good. He's got like this chainmail type thing that hangs down there, and then kind of in the back as well. And we got this big old number printed on there. Why would we get this big ass number printed on the back of the figure? Why would they do that? That's weird. Like, I get that they do that like on feet and stuff. Wait. They probably do it on back of legs too. No, I don't see it. Like, I'm looking at this Anakin. Anakin ain't got it. I mean, you got a number printed on the foot, and it's very small, but man, they printed that all huge. Why would they do that? Let me know in the comments below if you guys picked up a Sebulba, if yours is the same way. That's kind of weird. But there's Sebulba. I mean, it's kind of wacky and crazy and everything, and I absolutely love it. But let's go ahead and zoom out and let's take a look at his articulation. Okay, so looking at it, the head swivels. It looks like it's probably on a ball. Yeah, it's on a ball joint in there, so you could swivel it around a little bit and pivot, swivel, turn. But up and down is not a whole lot, because again, it's just on a ball, so you can kind of go left to right a little bit and then just swivel. Now, the neck has a swivel, and looks like it's on a ball joint inside that torso, so you can kind of move back and forth, up and around. A little bit of a rocker situation going on there, so that is pretty cool that you could do all that there. Now, let's see his waist. Let's see, we got a swivel, but is it a ball joint? It is a ball joint, so that is cool. So, ball joint at the waist. So, look at that. So, tilt a little bit there. Coming back, you can go back a little bit, but coming forward is only a little bit there. And then, of course, swivel. So, that's what we got there on the torso. Now, the arm, but foot hands, I guess. So at the shoulder, we would say, you can get the arm to go straight on out like so. There, you do have that shoulder pad, and that does move nicely with the arm, which is cool. But again, straight on out, you get a full rotation in there. There is a single jointed elbow. You get a swivel at that elbow, and at the elbow, you get a perfect 90-degree bend there. His feet hands only swivel. There's no hinge. Well, you know what? There's a ball joint, so you can move it somewhat a little bit there, but there's no hinge whatsoever. So ball joint, no hinge. Now the legs, you got the legs there, so you can get these legs all the way back there. You can do some crazy yoga stuff going on there. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit. So you can get that arm to go over his head, and then you could basically do a full rotation in that leg. You can't really get the leg to go out a whole lot. So as you can see, only that much there. You have the knee there, so straight leg that much there, and then that bend at the knee is actually pretty good. You do get a swivel at that bend there, and then I don't know, would this be considered the ankle? I don't know what this would be. This is just another elbow type joint, but you can hinge it that much there, which is nice. It does have a swivel in there, but you get that bend there. And then at the hands slash feet, the hand feet, feet hands, feet hands, because they're like what feet would be, but they're hands. Let's go with that. You can, I guess you can't really swivel because it forces right back to where it was. There is a hinge though, so you can hinge down that much, and then you can hinge straight up kind of thing. But not really a swivel. I feel like I'm probably wearing that down. That's probably not good. So just a little bit of a hinge there. So you kind of get one open hand. The other one is kind of more that grip hand. So if you wanted to grip these, this frog leg, this frog type of thing at the legs, and again, it kind of hooks around. So, you know, he holds it nicely kind of thing. So you could have it dangling like so. So that's the articulation of Sebulba. I think it's pretty good. I like the way it moves. I think it moves pretty good because, you know, you want to get him to stand up. And so you just get him onto his hands, and then you can, you know, do all that and just do some crazy, wacky, silly stuff. And, you know, getting him to balance can be a trick, so you'll have to kind of adjust those elbows in certain ways and kind of use the ball joint of that wrist slash ankle to kind of get him to stand in certain ways, to kind of balance out with those legs. So depending on how you have them, you may have to balance certain ways and whatnot, but, you know, can easily be done. And again, just silly, wacky, whole lot of fun. Sorry guys, I do not have a young Anakin or Padme or Qui-Gon or that era Obi-Wan. I technically have an Obi-Wan because I have that 20th anniversary Phantom Menace carded figure. And I'm trying to think if they did another young Obi in any other. I don't think so, but I don't have any of the other Phantom Menace figures to be able to show you a comparison. So my apologies on that, as I'm not a big Star Wars Black Series collector. However, I am enjoying them more and more, and I picked up a bunch of Andor figures, so I'll be going through some reviews in the coming days and weeks. And I'm definitely having some fun with these guys. And Sebulba, man, he's just crazy. Wild design. And just a cool action figure. Just a cool toy. Like, that's what this one's all about. I'm really liking it. Hopefully you guys would too if you have any interest in the figure, you know, and you needed to see a review to see how kind of wacky, crazy it is. I promise you it's definitely a lot of fun. And he probably looks pretty good next to, you know, little Anakin. Since I don't have that figure, I can't do that for you guys. So maybe another review would, which, you know, maybe you guys check out to see. But I would like it if you guys still continue to come back and check out my channel. So, you know, make sure to subscribe. Okay, one more side-by-side comparison. Here we have the Mandalorian Din Djarin here side-by-side with Sebulba. But again, a lot of fun. I'm really liking him. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of Sebulba? Do you think he looks pretty good? I think he looks great. Wonder if you can get him to balance on one hand. That's definitely going to be tricky. I don't know. I mean, you really got to, like, counterbalance. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I should probably do that so you could actually see it. So the way the ball joint at that ankle, wrist ankle. Yeah. Oh, okay. Look at that. One-handed, he could do all kinds of... Even better. So you guys let me know, what do you guys think of this Sebulba figure? Is it one that you're looking to add to your collection? Or have you already added it to your collection? Give me your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Remember, this is in stock right... Oh, man. He is in stock right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So if you're looking to pick him up, link in the video description below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.